33-year-old author Damon Rusty watches images of last week's riots in Sweden. He was born in Iran, but grew up in Husby. Now he sees his old neighborhood in flames. He has no doubt about the root causes of the rioting.
In reality, it's not about these people being immigrants. There are immigrants living in Stockholm's upper-class neighborhoods. It's actually about who's in which social class, who's got prospects and who hasn't. The problem isn't the immigrants, the problem is the class consciousness in this country.
And that class consciousness has led to sections of society isolating themselves. In recent years, he says, that's become more and more the rule in Sweden. Late Friday evening in the Stockholm suburb of Militant, the police took nearly 20 right-wing extremists into custody. They were on the lookout for rioters, they said, with a carload of weapons. As Sweden has taken in more and more immigrants and asylum seekers, the far right has grown. The weekend was relatively calm in and around the Swedish capital. But violence flared up in other towns. In Erupt, 200 kilometers west of Stockholm, rioters destroyed several cars. In Uppsala, a firebomb set a school building ablaze. The recent wave of unrest started in Husby. The suburbs may be dreary, but to Kena Soruko and her family, they're still home. Something they can't always say about Sweden itself.
Of course, we're part of Swedish society, but here many experience daily life differently. They feel like they're not accepted, they're being kept down. It's that way here in Husby and other districts, where our immigration policies broke down long ago.
In recent years, Sweden has slashed budgets for social projects like this self-help organization. A united suburb cannot be defeated, reads the writing on the wall. Some residents think the politicians have given up on Husby and other problem areas.
Take the school, for instance. Almost half the primary schoolers here in Husby don't make it into the upper secondary school. The grade point averages are among the worst in Sweden. In any other community, the local politicians would make sure that changes quickly. They'd move heaven and earth, but here, they don't care.
Not surprising, many of the rioters were said to come from the ranks of the jobless. Every fourth young adult in Husby is unemployed. But an independent income is the key to a successful immigration policy, as this sociologist asserts.
In particular, our labor market policies for immigrants aren't working at all. That should set off alarm bells, because we know that in a modern society, jobs are the key to everything else.
Damon Rusty has made it out of the oppressive suburbs and into Stockholm's posh city center. But he goes back to Husby to visit friends. Not even the nights of violence kept him away.
While I was growing up there in the late 1980s, there was a positive spirit. We had all fled from war and misery and come to this country that promised so much, and we had big dreams. But when I go back to Husby now, I sense the sadness and dejection in the streets.
Kena Soruko isn't ready to give up. She's been through bad times and often felt abandoned by the authorities. But she hopes the riots may serve as a wake-up call. She hopes that someday she can truly call Sweden her home.